Hey everyone, welcome back to Mike's Vinyl Experience. Thank you all so much for being with me here today. Today I am super excited for three different reasons. One, I'm getting a new set of speakers delivered today. I'll be sharing that installation setup with you very shortly. It'll probably happen within the next 2 to 3 days. Super excited to share that with you. The second thing that I am super excited to share with you is an album that just got released from Rhino Records. It's not a high fidelity series, but Rhino released Crosby, Stills, Nash Young live at Fillmore East 1969. And of course, being a huge Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young fan, I couldn't resist. I had to jump on this and get it. And you know what? I'm really super glad that I did, because I've been surprised. In fact, really surprised. What have I been surprised about? The sound quality. This album was recorded, I believe, September 20th, 1969, just a month later after they had been performing at Woodstock. Really, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, they spent the entire, last part since August, really, of 1969 through the rest of the year, touring and writing songs for their upcoming 1970 release, Deja Vu, which of course everyone knows is just an absolute classic. There's actually a couple of songs from the release 1970 Deja Vu that they performed on this live set, which is really kind of a neat thing. You know, people got to hear a little glimpse of the album that was forthcoming, which was really cool. Most of the music was derived, of course, from their album self-titled Crosby, Stills and Nash. And then of course from the Neil Young album, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, which included on this set Down by the River. It's a 16-minute long song that is really one of the album's great songs, absolutely. And so it really is a great set list. The music on this album, this double album, is absolutely fantastic. Seriously, if you're a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young fan, and when I get down to the talking about the sound quality and the music, this is an album that I think that you're definitely going to want to have in your collection. And we'll talk about the sound quality here in just a minute, but I got to be honest with you. I was surprised. I just wasn't expecting the sound quality that I was listening to as I was listening to this new album, which I'm super grateful for. The album was actually mixed by Stephen Stills and Neil Young after the concert. And so that was the original mixing that was done. And I guess somebody somewhere found the copy of this tape, and that's where this all came from. It's all analog. Chris Bellman did cut the lacquers. And boy, I tell you what, he did a great job cutting the lacquers, and I'll talk more about that when we get into the sound quality. But really, a classic 1969 live at Fillmore East live concert. So happy they found the tapes, and so happy we're able to have this incredible album on vinyl. And boy, I tell you what, I'm excited to tell you about how well it sounds. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the sound quality as we go through the album. So, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young live at the Fillmore East 1969. This is previously unreleased. It's never been released until now. Apparently they just found the tape somewhere and released it. And as we indicated right from the start, Stephen Stills and Neil Young mixed the tape. And then, of course, Chris Bellman was the one that has just recently cut the lacquers for this album. Let's go ahead and take a look at the album and see what we're getting. I haven't really taken the plastic off it yet, so we'll take a look at the gatefold album. Very nicely done cover. Excellent picture of the four of them right there. Super nicely done cover. It's a gatefold, and as you can see, hope you can see that without any glare. There's images of the four And then over here, it talks a little bit about CSNY and this concert that was done in 1969. Over here to the back side, great pictures of each of the guys. And then, of course, it talks about the two albums. And the two albums from this September 20th, 1969 concert, the first album is an acoustic set. And then the second album is the electric set. Both albums with incredibly great music. And we'll talk about that once we get into the sound quality as we go through each of the songs really quickly on both albums. But absolutely, really a fantastic job when you really look at the $32, $34, whatever it is, that this album costs, double album. It's really a bargain when you consider the set list that is on this album and the fact, of course, that it's a double album. You really are getting a true bargain in vinyl records with this album, at least to me and in my opinion. I believe we're getting a great deal. Let's jump in and talk about the sound quality on each of these albums and go through what I think was a surprise, was a complete surprise. I just wasn't expecting the sound quality to be this good. I was absolutely shocked, to be honest with you. But let's jump in and go through each of the songs on each of the albums really quick and talk about sound quality. From the very moment that you put the needle down on this album and start to listen to it, you will be completely shocked, at least I was, at the quality of the sound. I just wasn't expecting it. I was really surprised at how well this sound. Of course, album one, side one, and side two, this is the acoustic set. And of course, we got the guys playing their guitar in one case, Graham Nash on the organ, but it's really an acoustic set. And it's just, these guys singing and the harmonization that these guys do. Of course, that's one of the hallmarks of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young in this case. That's one of their hallmarks. They're just absolutely phenomenal musicians, and their harmonization is just impeccable and incredible. First song on side one of album one is Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. This is an incredibly, and I wrote in my notes, surprisingly, the first thing I wrote was, wow, nicely recorded. They captured this recording so very, very well. It's surprisingly clear and really surprisingly clean with very, very nice detail, in particular on vocals. That's where this song and really this entire first album shines, is in the vocal clarity and definition and really in the detail. Moving on to the next song, Blackbird. This is a great rendering of a Beatles song that they do. It sounds fantastic. Here again, the vocals are just simply incredible. Song three on side one, Helplessly Hoping. This is another fantastic song written by Stephen Stills. They're having a great time with this song. As you can hear, there's a lot of laughter in it, but the song sounds impeccable. The recording is truly, in my opinion, truly amazing for being done at a live set, a live recording in 1969. Fourth song, another incredible classic from these folks, Guinevere, probably one of my most favorite Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Crosby, Stills and Nash songs. It's a fantastic, fantastic song. An acoustic version of it that is rendered here, absolutely stunning. Excellent, excellent sound quality. And really, as I go through this first album and talking about each of these tracks, one thing that's really important when you're listening to any acoustic set type album is the quietness of the vinyl and the low noise floor. That's probably one of the biggest things that I was shocked about, was how quiet the vinyl is and the noise floor on this album for being a live recorded album. Just absolutely surprisingly just incredible. This is an excellent recording of a classic song, Guinevere. Last song on side one, Lady of the Island. Graham Nash's voice is absolutely stunning in here in detail and clarity. Very upfront, very well defined. Sounds absolutely superb. Flipping over to side two of album number one, Go Back Home. Stephen Stills' guitar is just captured incredibly wonderful on this, as is his voice. An incredible, incredible song. Second song on side two, On the Way Home. Neil Young's voice and all vocals in particular on this track are just simply spectacular. Uh, it's a great, great song to begin with. But boy, I tell you what, the recording of this just renders this song special. It just sounds amazing on this. Third song on side two of the first album. This is a song that will appear on the Deja Vu 1970 Deja Vu release. It's called 4+20. One of their great songs, a classic song written by Stephen Stills. Incredible, incredible song. It just sounds absolutely amazing. Really, this song was a classic. And for these people to be in the audience listening to this song, not knowing that it's going to be on the Deja Vu album in 1970, what an opportunity it was for them to listen to an incredible song. Fourth song on side two, Our House. Yet another great song. This was another song, the second song actually, that would appear on the 1970 release Deja Vu album. And these guys are getting to hear this song a few months ahead of time, which is absolutely incredible. All it really is Graham Nash on the organ, and it just sounds fantastic. His voice is crystal clear. It sounds super. The sound of the organ is excellent. Incredible, incredible song, Our House. Probably one of their biggest and classic songs ever. Fifth song on side two of album one, I've Known Her So Long. Neil Young. What a great, incredible song this is. His voice is simply stellar in this recording of this album. Sixth and final song on side two of album one, You Don't Have to Cry. This is just a beautiful, beautiful song. It's just captured perfectly. Vocals sound fantastic, as it does through this entire first album in this double album collection. It is amazing how good the sound quality. In fact, just to kind of summarize the first album, the Acoustic Set, I just wrote in my notes, it just sounds utterly impressive and fantastic. Here again, not expecting to hear this from this album. I just was really shocked at how good this sounded. The most, once again, it's all acoustic set, and really the quietness of the vinyl and the low noise floor is just impeccable for a 1969 live recording. This is an absolute must-have, in my opinion. Album one, the Acoustic Set, sounds simply stunning. An incredible, incredible sounding album. Let's jump over and listen to the electric set on album two, side three. Album two, side one, or side three, however you want to, do it, I guess. First song on the second album, side one, side three, Long Time Gone. Wow. Once again, okay, this is the electric version. We're through with the acoustic set and we're on to the electric version. So we're getting the full band, which is really, once again, I just wasn't expecting to hear the level of sound quality that I heard with this album. Excellent sound quality, especially for a live performance. All vocals and instruments are superbly well balanced with nice detail and very good detail on all instruments. Vocals are obviously the strong point and the focal part of the recording, as they should be. They just sound fantastic. Song two, Wooden Ships. what a fantastic song this is. And this is such a great version, a live version of this song. Excellent guitar work that sounds very nice with extremely good detail. Vocals are extremely well done. 3, Bluebird Revisited. Excellent sound, especially on drums on this song, which really, you know, all of it's been real well balanced, but the drums just haven't had a great deal of, I don't know, upfrontness or detail, but they do on this song. Bluebird Revisited, excellent drum sound with this song. It's just a fantastic song with great sound. Vocals, once again, sound fantastic. Song 4 on side 1 of the second album, or side 3, if you will. Sea of Madness, more of the same with excellent guitar work. It was captured absolutely wonderful. The clarity and the cleanliness of the recording are just, it's incredible. Moving over to side 2 of the second album, or side 4, if you will. The first song on here is Neil Young's, and here again, this appeared on Neil Young's album. Everybody knows This Is Nowhere. This is a 16+ minute long song, and I gotta tell you what, it just sounds incredible. Neil Young's voice is great, but the guitar playing in this song is simply stunning. It's wonderful. You really got to hear it. A lot of people might want to buy this album just for this song. It's a good jamming song, a Neil Young song. It's fantastic, extremely well recorded and extremely well presented in this recording. Very, very good album, or very good song, excuse me. Second song and concluding song on the album. It's only 1:55 long. It is Find the Cost of Freedom. This was written by Stephen Stills. This really would actually find its way on the B-side of the Protest album, Ohio. But a really fun little song. It's only 1:55, but really the star of the show on this side of the album, of course, is Down by the River by Neil Young. And as this group performed that song, it was just simply stunning. Really, to sum up and conclude this album, I just can't say how surprised and happy I was at the sound quality. Just wasn't expecting that. In my conclusion, this is a must-have. If you're a Crosby, Stills, Nash Young fan, in my opinion, humble opinion, this is an absolute must-have. I think Rhino done a great job. Chris Bellman did a fantastic job cutting the lacquers for this album. The track list is truly amazing. The quality of the vinyl, the quietness is absolutely shocking, and it just sounds absolutely stunning. Fantastic album. Highly, highly recommended. Like I say, Crosby, Stills, Nash Young fan, you really need to have this in your collection. It's that good, and it's recorded really, really well and presented for the first time ever since it was recorded in 1969. Wow. My hat's off to Chris Bellman. My hat's off to the folks at Rhino. They did a great job. Super album, absolutely worth the $34 or $35, whatever. I can't remember exactly what it cost. Absolutely worth it. It's a bargain, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like what you see, please go ahead and subscribe. I have got some really fun stuff coming up. In fact, not to mention my new speakers they'll be arriving as I'm recording this today. I'm expecting them to show up. The installation and the acoustic treatment for my room will be happening at the very first of the week, so I'm super excited about that. Another album that I just received, super excited to share the information on it. Another Rhino release. They just did a box set. It's called The Albums from 1989 through 1996. It includes the albums Presto, Roll the Bones, Counterparts, and Test for Echo. I've only had these albums on CD, and so I'm super excited to share with you how they sound on vinyl. I'm really super excited to share. I'll give you a quick little hint. they're better than the CDs. But we'll get into that here in a future video that will be coming up very shortly. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I appreciate each and every one of you. As indicated, if you like what you see, please go ahead and subscribe. But most important, leave comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. If you bought this, how does it sound to you? What do you think? I promise you, you don't need a high-end, expensive stereo system to hear the sound quality of this album. It's really done that well. Super surprised at how well it sounds. Highly recommended. Until next time, have a great day.